Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? We're all doing very, very well. Now, this is just a little video, a little video. Ha-ha, you all will say, as if, Kilty, as if. No, it will be. Just a little update, really. There is a big review coming, which I aim to have it done later on tonight. So in the next few hours. But we'll see about that. It's definitely coming very soon, very soon. And if you pay attention to the community posts on the channel, you'll know what it is. A classic adventure movie, but also very highly controversial, very disturbing, and also bloody awesome. But no, this video is about a lot of you guys go above and beyond the Call of Duty. The Kilted clan members out there who send stuff to me all the time, and you know who you are, and there's so many of you. The backgrounds of my videos are peppered with the things which you guys send, be they canvases, be they posters, be they action figures, all sorts of things. Sometimes crates within crates, and movies, and a lot of stuff. And I just want to say, I am forever in your debt. I'm massively humbled. These things, I don't deserve them. I genuinely don't. But keep them coming, because I loves them, I does. And you guys have actually found things which I've scoured the world for and never managed to unearth. And then you guys suddenly, it appears within a box or a special delivery, a transatlantic treasure trove. So, two of our great friends are sending me stuff, and something is arriving on Monday, so in a few days' time, so beginning of next week anyway, and it's from Astradyne, your friend and mine. Astradyne, a traveller in time. Now, Astradyne, or Sir Astra of the Dyne, he sends things out the blue, so stuff arrives all the time, and there's no advanced fanfare. I'll show you something. He sent these only literally about, a week ago? A bit longer than a week ago, perhaps. They are Nostromo identity cards. ID tags to put on, your crew jersey, your crew jacket, once aboard the Nostromo. So you have Brett, you have everybody. You have Parker, you have, who's next? Lambert, you have, you know where I'm going with this. Dallas. Who's this now? Who's this? It's Kane. And then you have, who's going to be? Can't trust him. It's Ash. And then Ripley, of course. And on the back of them, you have the Nostromo logo. Astradyne sent me an inspired by Alien Nostromo and Weyland-Yutani. He sent me that jacket, which you've seen, and then he sent these things, and I hadn't got round to showing you these, but obviously you're not going to put one of them on. It's rather large, unless you go into a UN meeting. And if you're going to a UN meeting, make sure you get on an escalator that actually works. Oh, the sabotage they did there. Is that, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Trump at the UN meeting yesterday, him and Melania got on the escalator and it stopped straight away and they had to walk. The teleprompter didn't work. Didn't matter, because Trump he could charm the birds from the trees, and then he'll probably stamp on them, obviously, and deport them. But he was scheduled to do a 15-minute talk. He went on for 57 minutes. Oh, he got his own back. But also, they turned the sound down on his microphone as well. Definitely sabotage. And it couldn't happen to any other person. 3 things like that. So the Secret Service are actually looking into this. A big investigation. You know what Trump's like. So you'd be wearing something like that, when you go to these big, prestigious sort of, highly Secret Service and Special Forces and, personal protection brigades and dignitaries from all around the world. You want one of these big things there. But what I do notice is that it says obviously got a picture, and these are all these pictures of them. They are from the famous crew and cast of Alien, but they're all sitting together in a big whitewashed sort of room, all in their fatigues, all their costumes are going to wear in the movie. So all these photos, I mean, John Hurt as Kane is actually sitting down. He's one of the few that actually sitting down in that shot. So these pictures are all taken from that. And they are lovely, these things. But you have name, Kane, just that name. So name, Dallas. Not the full name. It's just the surnames. Ash. Do synthetics have full names as well? We don't know. But would have been a big giveaway. Rank Science Officer, rank Captain, rank XO, Executive Officer. Ripley, rank Lieutenant. Is she? She's a warrant officer, isn't she? Oh, I just noticed that. And then it's like, obviously there's their staff number. But it's great. I think they'll do great as a little display in the background on a future Alien video, of which you know there's going to be loads. And they're kind of cool. Oh, and something else which is kind of cool is the remnants of this Chivas Regal. Now, you guys know I've been drinking this over the last few videos, so it shows you I don't just throw them down my neck. That's because I tend to go to the pub as well, in between, and drink lots of their stuff, and then come back and do videos and quaff this stuff. Cheers, y'all. Cheers, Astradyne. Cheers, all of you. So Astradyne is sending a 4K UHD movie arriving Monday, and he gave me some clues as to what it is, and he threw me down a certain path to begin with. I mean, I'll try and remember the clues. They're on my phone, and of course I'm recording on my phone right now, so I can't read the clues out. He said there's a 4K arriving on the Wirral, where the Kilt mansion is secreted. Arriving on Monday, and there's something flying around here, a little tiny fly. I'll try and get that bastard. And he said it's a film, you know, remember your J.J. Abrams thing? You know, like, there's a bit of a lens flare taking place right now in the background, and I've had this thing about taking pictures and you get these lens flares all the time. So for many years I've been talking about lens flares and blaming JJ and this sort of fictitious ongoing feud I have with him. And so he said, like, yeah, it's what did he put it now? He said the camera work, it's all about the photography and lens flares. So but he went, it's not JJ Abrams. So okay, right. He said, and then he said, like, what was it now? But the filmmaker, the director, has a thing about, you know, the lighting. So, and then he come up, and before I could even think about that, another clue came up, like, the original book's author did not like the movie, but what's new? But he said, it's not Stephen King and The Shining. It's not Stephen King and The Shining. And they said, but the original, in the book, the antagonist was a vampire. So I went, oh, okay. And I come up with a few little options. And then I sat back, because there's another clue which he gave, which I'm not going to say because you're all going to get it. Oh no, Will. It's only fair, isn't it? It's only fair. He said, like, I was talking about light. I think I mentioned Close Encounters, because you mentioned light being this thing. And Hammer, especially Terence Fisher and cinematographer Arthur Grant, who used coloured gels to create these lovely gothic, very radiant imagery on screen by literally putting coloured gel over, you know, the lights that are on the set, and it cast reds and greens and blues and purples and looked really, really exotic and spellbinding. And no, wasn't that. But he said the author did not like the film version, and in the book the antagonist was actually a vampire. So I thought, oh God, is it Richard Matheson? And I Am Legend, of course, has 3 movie variants. The Last Man on Earth, Vincent Price, which is outstanding. But I thought, well, no, it follows the book very closely, so they are genuine vampires in that. It's Charlton Heston in The Omega Man. And you guys know how much I love that movie. The Omega Man, scored by Ron Grainer. Wow, what a film. They're not vampires, they're albino mutants. But light obviously plays a part because, you know, they can't go out in the light because they burn. Like a vampire would burn. And then the Will Smith version, where they're not vampires again. They are a form of mutants with big stretchy jaws and do all that big CG, you know, massive mouth thing. I love that movie, and you guys know how much I love that movie. And they're doing the sequel to it. Okay, we're gonna see how that turns out. But I thought, what did Richard Matheson not like any version? You can see how I was sitting there going, no, trying to work. I thought, I can't leave this alone. I'm meant to go to the pub now, but I couldn't leave all these clues, and I had to do some dogged detective work. And so I actually think I said that to him. So like, is it Richard Matheson? I Am Legend. Could be. No response. And I sat back again, and then I thought, I know what, I'll have some whiskey. So I did. And the germ of inspiration hit me. I mean, that camera's gone on a slight angle, hasn't it? Sorry about this. Sorry about my hairy palm being in your face. I've turned it too far the other way now. Nah, it doesn't matter. And then I thought, oh my God, I know what it is. The author didn't like the movie version. The guy that made the movie didn't like the movie version either, to be perfectly honest. The way it was mishandled and cut and chopped down, and lousy distribution and all that. And in the book, yes, the antagonist is a vampire, or rather uses the whole vampire thing. I'm giving too much away now, aren't I? He uses the whole vampire superstition and legend to his own advantage. He's not actually a vampire, but he may as well be, if you know what I mean. And I thought, I've got it. And I could be wrong. I could well be wrong. And I sent him a message back with a cryptic use of the actual title of the film in there. And he just sent a smiley face back. I'm like, I've got it. But I'll keep stum. I've rephrased what I said to him. So that'll arrive next week, possibly Monday. And if it's what I'm thinking it is, I've covered the movie very greatly in depth twice. I've done 2 real deep dives on it, because the first time I realised afterwards, no, there's a lot more you can discuss about this. So I went back and did another video, and they've been quite, for my channel, they've been pretty popular. And then we got news that this cult movie was going to get a 4K release. So I did a video about that and the potential of a remake as well. So there's actually several videos I've done on this movie. But this arrival, if it's what I'm thinking it is going to prompt another video, of course. Because why the hell not? And of course I could be wrong, but I'll do it live. I'll do it live for you guys, and egg on my face will be there. So we'll see. But I can always wash it off with some of this. See, I'm getting in the mood now, because I know I'm going out in a few minutes. Cheers, y'all. So that's that. But there's also something else. Our great friend over that big huge pond, Halloween Rock, H Rock from South Alabama, who sends loads of terrific stuff. He sent me the Brody shirt from Jaws, specifically the Jaws 2 variant with a different Amity police badge. But outstanding it is, and a real lifelong collectible that I've wanted to have that shirt. But of course, if it's talking about Jaws, you know what I do for a living? Quint. And I have a lot of Quintisms, Quint stuff. None of what I've got is authentic, none. Now, if you've seen a lot of my videos, then you know I've got all the Snake Plissken's gear from Escape from New York. I've got all of RJ McCready's gear from The Thing. All very, very authentic. And they're about the only 2 characters, apart from Michael Myers, where I don't do it. I don't wear that stuff with a kilt. So if I'm going Comic-Con or some horror festival, or I'm just in the mood to do it that particular day. Just walking around from pub to pub. I've even gone to work in the past dressed as Snake Plissken with the eye patch on, the whole Alpine Stars, high points, done everything. The wrist clock on, the tracer on, everything on, all except the Ingram Mach 10. That wouldn't go down too well. And obviously the hair and all that. So, but in their particular cases, the kilt won't make it anything special, because in Snake Plissken's case, you want to have those Siberian camo combat keks. You want to have combat trousers, combat pants. Keks is a very, well, I thought it was all of Britain knew that phrase, keks. They may do now, but I've discovered on this channel, having used that phrase several times in the past, that people, even in this country, go, what are keks? What do you mean by keks? It's pants. It's maybe it's just a Merseyside Scoutism. I don't know. I thought it was a lot more widespread than that. But anyway, his combat trousers, they're awesome. So putting a kilt on and wearing the that sort of shiny, stretchy, skin tight muscle vest, wearing the eye patch and the wrist clock. Oh yeah, people might know what it is, but they're going, what the fuck is the kilt to do with the kilted Plissken, the kilted snake? Don't make up your own versions there. I can take care of that myself. And RJ McCready, you've got to wear the flight suit. You've got to, and get it all frosted up, make it all like completely. You got frostbite and all that. You've been out in the blizzard, and obviously the big jacket and all that, and the big stupid silly fucking ridiculous hat, which I hate. And Kurt Russell hates the hat as well, but it is iconic at the same time. So. And obviously Michael Myers, you've got to wear your boiler suits, haven't you? Your worky overalls. And I've got several different versions of that. It should be green, olive, well, dark, it's very dark green. And I've got all the bullet holes in it as well, like all blood stains. It looks, the original one looks terrific, but of course, then it would become blue. So I've got the blue variant as well. In fact, I've got two blue variants. But anyway. So they're the exceptions, but with Quint, I do Quint in a kilt. The kilted Quint, the quinted kilt, the whatever, because I think it works. So the chambray shirt, the naval shirt, which by the way is not a navy shirt. Just to bring you up to speed on his costume, it's a vintage Levi's orange tab. They took the orange tab off it, but that's what the shirt is. But it looks like a vintage naval shirt. Of course, Quint was, US Navy. Obviously, the hat, they can never find the correct source of that hat. The jury's out on that. Did they just buy it in a sports shop somewhere, local to Martha's Vineyard? And like, that looks great. Was it made specifically? I doubt that. Or, was it a brand, but no one knows the brand? So people just find very similar things to it. Like, and of course, the cap that I've got is well, mine's green, and his is actually brown. It's a brown cap, but it's so weathered and worn that, and stained, you can't really tell. So green works just as well. Now, it's the jacket that we're talking about here, the jacket. Anything, lower hemisphere, I don't worry about as far as Quint's concerned, because I wear a kilt and a big pair of boots. I'm not wearing them deck shoes. I'm not wearing them little black cargo pants, work pants. Work kicks. But the jacket he wears is an M51 Korean jacket from American personnel in Korea. That jacket was modified in 1957, only slightly. And then, obviously, it seeded into Vietnam. So the first few years of Vietnam, personnel in country were wearing that jacket. It can be a cold weather jacket, but it can be much lighter and cooler as well, because you can take the inner lining out of it. The original one has a detachable hood. Some of them, you get them now, don't have hoods, most of them. You don't find them with a hood. But we're coming on to this. Then that was replaced in 1965 with the M65 jacket, which you are all familiar with. Johnny Rambo wears it in First Blood, and you see him end of Rambo 3, he's got it as well. Southern Comfort, they all wear that. Most action movies with soldiers, American soldiers out in the field, they're wearing M65s. It's a bigger, it's a hardier version of the M51. It's a gorgeous jacket, it has a concealed hood. The collars are different. I'll come on to this because when you see people trying to do their Quint costume, they very often and invariably will use the M65, but they'll have the Quint name tag on and all that. And take the lining out of it, because most M65s come with the lining in them. Even like ones that have been used and all that, army surplus. Because I've got several. I've got one in black. I've got one in olive drab, but I wear it like Johnny Rambo with the billowing American flag. So it looks great, and US Army on the other side. I've got one in woodland camouflage, and I've got one in tiger stripe. And the tiger stripe one, oh, is it here? Oh, I don't know if it's here or not. You've probably seen, I will have shown you at some point. It's got Special Forces insignia all over it, and it is a Vietnam era one. Interestingly, I've read that the tiger stripe and desert variants were done by commercial companies. They weren't a government contract. Well, my tiger stripe one has definitely got the US Department of Defense full label on the inside in 2 places. So mine definitely was. I can't really vouch for how authentic that sort of, no, they were never officially contracted out. People bought them, because they wanted to, because all these commercial variants came out. Mine's officially labelled, so I've got to take, a bit of umbrage with that. But the jacket that I wear for Quint, and I am going to show you that. Just one second. It's completely wrong. And always has been. One second. This is the Quint jacket that I wear, which you've seen a million times on videos. There's the, where is it now? There's the nice stained Quint name tag. What is this jacket? Well, I could read it out to you there. It's a Vietnam tropical shirt, or they call them jackets. They call them jackets, but to you and me, it's a shirt. It's jungle, It's got to be light, and it has many vast differences from what Quint wears. The pockets on Quints are not diagonal; they're straight, and they're not 2-button, flap down. They're triangular, like the M65 is. So it's my Quint costume is vastly different and really, really inauthentic. And yet when I wear it, I've got the cap on, you've got the jacket on, you've got and I've got like it's not a Levi's orange tab. It isn't one of those, but it looks bloody good though. It's a real good, facsimile, and looks great under this, obviously. So, and I weather this up. But that is not vintage. That's a repro. It's a modern made version. So when I take it out, I've got to weather it up, put chalk, a little word of advice there. If it's just for a one-off thing, chalk, different coloured chalk, stains and makes things look scuffed, and it can look tremendous. So anyway, that's the one I've been wearing, and you've seen me in it. The reason why I got that Vietnam issue one is because at the time, several years ago, when I was doing first started doing the Quint videos, dressing up as Quint and doing a Quint voice and all that. I thought, I need the stuff, don't I? But I'm only going to be sitting here, so has it got to be really authentic? I knew what jacket to get, and I looked for it, and you could not get the M51 combat jacket in this country for love nor money. We're talking this is just before COVID, and then throughout COVID and afterwards, you couldn't get it at all. And we used to have army surplus stores which sold a lot of American stuff, a lot of Vietnam stuff, a lot of fishtail parkas from the Korean War. I was a mod as well back in the early 80s in the big revival, and what were we wearing? Fishtail parkas, which were the great big Korean cold weather jacket with the great big hood on it. Fantastic. We used to wear the hoods right the way down the back like that, and that was the way you strutted round. Looked amazing. So I had all that back in the day. I haven't got them now. And anyway, so I looked to get the M51, couldn't find it. Oh God! So I thought I'll get that, because on this it's not going to make much difference. You know what I'm doing. You know who I'm being, and it looks good enough. And so I got that. Now, only recently, because people have got on to me saying about the actual jacket and all that, namely H-Rock, and I said to him, like, well, weirdly enough, they've come back on the market again, but they're not authentic original ones. They're repros. So on Amazon and other apps, army sort of military online stockists, they're all repros. They're not original stuff. And he said, well, I'm going to try and find one for you. So this is what I'm saying about people going above and beyond. And he lives in South Alabama, but he travels into Florida and goes to all the thrift stores and the army surplus stores. And he's actually got a couple of jackets himself, which look fantastic. But he said, I'm going to find you an M51. So we've been liaising, especially today. He's been like saying, look, I found this, and he took these are the pictures of it. What do you think? Is that the right one? He said, I can't quite tell. He doesn't know the differences between that and the M65. And from the pictures, the first picture he sent, I was like, oh, I don't know, because it was battered, it was worn, the weathering, all authentic, because it's genuinely vintage. I thought, so that looks the part, and I looked closer, and like, yeah, everything, the buttons on the cuffs, which are not on the M65. The M65 used what we call Velcro. It's hook and loop, isn't it? Which came out a hell of a long time ago. But the M65, and my original M65, I got in 1982, or maybe 83. My dad bought it for me because we'd seen Southern Comfort, and it was Southern Comfort that made me want that jacket. I just loved the way it was tight around the neck, and then you can see the zip around the neck because the concealed hood's inside there. It just looks so cool in that movie. Anyway, and then obviously, Rambo wears it as well, and so my dad got me that, and so I'd be what, I don't know, 12, 13 years old. I'm 56 now. I've still got that jacket. I still wear it, and it looks outstanding. It barely hasn't aged at all. There's a few stains on it, but it's not ripped. It's not tattered. It still looks like I bought it, today. So I wear it a lot, like, obviously. Shows how durable they are. And I've never grown into it. The sleeves were always quite long on me, slightly too long. And even though I may have filled out, in quite a few areas, it's still a bit long in the sleeve, but I do love the jacket, and it's perfect for cold weather. Mine's got the lining in it and all that. And obviously the hood's useless. The hood is fucking useless. You put that on, there's no stability with it. There's no durability to it. It's just a flimsy piece of bloody material that you stick over your head. It's still, the water goes straight through it. It's a fucking useless hood. Anyway, so he said, like, I'm going to find you the M51. And it looks like he has. He took a few sorties over recent times into Florida, and went around thrift stores and army surplus. Couldn't quite find the one that was right, but he's found this and sent me the pictures. And then in a further email, he sent me a lot more pictures of it. And yeah, you can tell by the collars, it hasn't got a concealed hood, because the collars on the M51 are more pointed, flatter. The M65, they're more rounded, because they're meant to like stand up proudly. You zip it up, and it goes around your neck, your throat, and all that. And it looks great, and of course it has the triangular pockets. To make it authentic, Quint has the left breast pocket, the flaps ripped off, it's gone. So you've got to take care of that to make it authentic. And this is the thing about cosplaying, folks. If I went to Comic-Con dressed as Quint, I'm trying to put the black kecks on and the oh god, I forgot the name of the bloody deck shoes now. I forgot the name. Doesn't matter. But if I wore those and they looked okay enough, people would come up to me and go, "It's Quint. Hang on, that's the stitching's wrong there. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. That cap is not." It should be brown, not green. Oh, you got it. Because that's how fucking finite these people are. I know, because I've done all this in the past. And I know what they're like. All the Indiana Jones ones, oh my God, they're really sticklers for authenticity. It's got to be exactly right. Otherwise, you don't count at all. It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun, for fuck's sake. But that said, I'd like things to be as accurate as possible, you know. But Quint, I'm wearing a kilt, so that's my slant on it. That's my variant. But to have that jacket, the shirt's great. Have that jacket, that would be something else. And this is worn now. Apparently, the seller, and he's bought this. He's bought this. It's on the way to him. So he's gonna package it up with some other things he's sending in time for Halloween. You know, obviously, hence his name. And so this is going to come in a few weeks' time, I presume. Come across the Atlantic, and it's going to be great. And it's going to look the part, and it's ripped up. You can see stains on it, oil stains, possibly blood stains, rips and tears. There's all sorts going on with it. And that jacket I've been wearing is absolutely, because it's a repro, it's pristine. It's bloody pristine. There's no rips and tears in it. It might be creased, and I put a bit of chalk and stuff on it, but you know, it's too clean. He hasn't been battling sharks in that for decades, you know. So this one, it's going to look great. I know it is, and I can't wait for it. I really can't. And I think he said it's come from the estate of a genuine Vietnam veteran. This is what the write-up was. And as I said before, well, it wasn't from Vietnam. Well, they did wear him in Vietnam in the first few years. That was still in commission. And probably afterwards, people would wear what they're comfortable with, you know. And if they were veterans of the Korean War and they're still fighting in Vietnam, then they're going to keep some of their old kit as well. So it was definitely in use. It got replaced, obviously. But everything gets replaced. And in fact, the M51 was repatterned in 1959. But I don't know what I'm not sure what the changes were. Slight modifications, perhaps. I don't know. Because this jacket, it is dated. What you can read of the label, you can't read M51 because it won't be. Because you can say it's definitely from 1957, but it's dated 1958. So it's the 57 pattern, but made in 1958. But it's still the same thing as the 51 jacket. It hasn't changed anything at all, I don't think, looking at it. And I don't think you're going to find the jacket as weathered and as pure Quint authentic as this one. So I said to him, he said, do you want it? I went, yeah. If you're sure, of course. And mate, no, brilliant. He's done some legwork in trying to find this thing. And you know, I don't know what to say. He's gone out of his way to go and find something. He's travelled from Alabama into Florida several times on little sorties and recce's trying to find stuff to send to me. I find that just incredibly humbling. I really do. So, H-Rock. You rock. Cheers. And cheers you all. And it will be great. You know, I just know, looking at it, I was like, oh, it's got that, even just for the pictures I was looking at, that's got the patina of age. That's been worn. That's possibly been lived and died in, you know. Hasn't been shark chomped, obviously, but, you know. I think it's the top of the drawstrings as well. And the patterning, it's definitely almost identical to what Quint wears. And you've got to remember, Robert Shaw's jacket was modified for him. They shortened the sleeves. I'm not sure whose idea that was. He didn't have little short arms, but it's so that you can see that chambray shirt coming out from the end of his jacket cuffs. So you can see a bit of blue there. I don't know whose idea that was, but we know that for a fact. That's confirmed. The jacket was modified. And I think they've dulled down the zipper. There's a zipper in it. I remember saying to H-Rock only this morning, I was going like, because, you know when you start fixating on something, and you've seen it, the jacket, the film, a million times. And then suddenly, because you're thinking too hard about it, I was thinking, does it have a zip? I'm sure they removed the zip. They haven't. They haven't. The zip is definitely still in there. But you don't see it very often now. And I think they've massively dulled it down. I don't know why they do that, but they seem to have done, because it doesn't stand out at all. But this has got a zip, and I was thinking, oh, there's a zip. Oh, here's doesn't have this. Another. It's the same fucking jacket. Grow up, will you, Kilty? Zip it up, man. I wear a kilt. I don't need to zip it up. I just need to lower the tartan down and shelter the beast. So these things are forthcoming, and I'm super excited. If the film is indeed what I think it is, and I hope it is, but if I'm wrong, it's still going to be great. I know that. I put that little caveat in there. You know, it's still going to be great, and I'm still going to be, wow! No, it will be. It will be. And it's going to prompt another big discussion, I know, because it's a film which we have talked about a lot. And it's cult, it's flawed, bigly, badly, massively flawed, but doesn't matter, it gets around all that by just being immensely cool. So, anyway. I'm going to go out now, but keep your fingers crossed that I don't have too much to drink. Good luck with that one. And then I come back, and later on I can get this big, classic, old, dark movie reviewed, and because I love it to bits, and it has censorship issues even to this day, especially in the UK. And it is not what anyone expected. It was not what was advertised. It was not what was billed. And people were like, I was sitting there waiting to see something great and jolly, and like, oh my God. Did they just... I don't like this. I don't like this. When you were a kid and you first saw it on TV, which that's how I encountered it, I was like super, super shocked. But I'll discuss all that later. So anyway, in the meantime, in this ever like announcing forthcoming events in between time, please keep it kilted, keep it Celtic, keep your kecks on. And I'm going to see you all. What? Oh yeah. Later. And you're all rock, all of you. You're going to send me things. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It's just great that people do. I kind of wish the big companies did that they took interest and like, just sent you all Necker sent stuff. Necker were going to send me stuff, believe it or not. They were. I asked years ago. Of course you will. Review figures, review merch, and then discovered that was in the UK. Oh no, we don't send to the UK. Bloody hell, you know what I mean? And I've had that from other companies as well. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. But anyway, you guys are great. You guys rock. And I'm about to depart. And I kind of want to go as Quint now. I'm wearing a McCready t-shirt, just realised. Anyway, I'm out of here. See you later.